In this lecture, I will discuss how to analyze and design the one-way slab. So here in the title picture, you can see here is a slab is shown. Here is the longer dimension, here is the shorter dimension. When we take the ratio longer to shorter, if the ratio comes greater than 2, then this slab is called one-way slab. And if this ratio is equal or less than 2, then this slab is called two-way slab. And in this lecture we will discuss only one-way slab design. One-way slab: the slab which resists the entire / major part of the applied load by bending only in one direction. Here you can see the slab bending only in the one direction due to the large length of the one slab on the one side and the shorter on the other side. Then the behavior of the load transfer will be unidirectional on this direction and in this direction only. So that's why this type of slab is called one-way slab. And the condition by the code, that is, if the longer to shorter dimension ratio is greater than 2, then that slab is called one-way slab. It behaves as a one-way slab if this ratio comes. Two-edge supported slab is always one-way slab. Okay, for example, if there is only one support on this side and only one support on this side, then definitely and no support on this side and this side, again the load will come only on the one direction. Similarly, in any case, if only two supports are present in a slab, then definitely the load will come onto only on those supports. So that's why that type of slab is also called one-way slab. The cantilever slab that is present in our buildings, in plazas, all cantilever slabs act as one-way slab. Here you can see this slab is supported by two sides. Okay, so the load distribution again will be on this side and this side only. So this type of slab is also one-way slab. Again, the four-sided slab, due to the longer to shorter ratio, this slab will also act as a one-way slab, and the load transfer mechanism will be unidirectional, means half slab load will be transferred to this side and the half slab load will be transferred to this lower side. Now the cantilever slab, all the slab will be transferred to this support. So these all slabs are one-way slabs. In the one-way slab, main steel is only provided parallel to the span. Okay, so here this shorter span will act as a main load carrying element. So the main steel will come in this direction. Here in this span is also the main steel will come in this direction, and the distribution steel will come in this direction. So you also may have seen that in the slabs we provide two steel bars in X direction and in the Y direction. So which bar will comes under and which bar comes on the upper side in the slab. So the main bar which will come under means the bottom reinforcement, and the distribution reinforcement will be this direction. Similarly, in this slab, the main bars will be in this direction, shorter direction, and the distribution bars will be in this direction. And the third cantilever slab, all the load transfer will be in this to this support. So the main bars will be to this side and the distribution bars will be to this side. So main steel is only provided parallel to the span. Okay, the main steel will be to the shorter span. And for the designing of any slab, we consider 1 meter strip concept. So what is that? A strip of one-way slab is designed as singly reinforced rectangular section having unit width. So here is a one-way slab. In the shorter span where the main steel will come, so we take 1 meter strip. Here the width is 1 meter, and in the shorter span, so here is the cross section, 1 meter width, and height will be thickness of slab, and this section we will design as a singly reinforced rectangular section. whose width will be 1 meter and whose thickness will be thickness of the slab. So when we design this 1 meter slab panel, then after designing and finalizing the section and the reinforcement, we will spread the same area of steel to the whole slab. Okay, so that is the basic concept of 1 meter slab design. The unit width is considered equal to 1 millimeter or 1 meter, but in this book and the easy concept is to use the 1 meter. So we will also follow in this design 1 meter width. H minimum means minimum depth for one-way slabs. Here is the criteria. If the your one-way slab is simply supported, then if your grade of steel is 300 or 280, you will use L by 25, and if your grade of steel is 420, then you will use L by 20. And other than this grade, like if there is a you have this grade of steel 620 or 570, then for any other grade of steel you will use this formula. And if your slab is one end continuous, just like your slab is continuous, if both end continuous, if there is a cantilever slab, so you will use the minimum depth criteria of the slab. Examples of one-way slab: shades in the roofing systems, like on our windows, outside the building. These all slabs are cantilever, and also the type of one-way slab. The slab of stair is also designed as a one-way slab. Cantilever retaining walls that retain the soil or any material that can retain inside, that slabs are also designed as cantilever slabs, one-way slabs. Footings are also type of one-way slab whose slab one end is supported and other end is free. So all the load mechanism will be on the one side, so that is also designed as a one-way slab. Just like beams, we use the clear cover that is 40 millimeter. In slabs, we use the minimum clear cover for slabs that is 20 millimeter, depending upon the weather condition and exposed fire condition. So provision of slab steel. How to calculate the slab steel? The steel calculated for the unit width strip is to provide after calculation for the unit width strip, then we distribute to the whole slab, to the all along the slab width. This is done by providing bars at a regular spacing S. How to calculate the spacing of bars? If area of bar AB is the area of single bar effective for a width equal to S, means one area of bar will be effective for one spacing, and AS is the area of steel required for 1 meter. Then the following may be written as: for the whole for the 1 meter width, the total area of steel; for one area of bar, one spacing. So we can get the spacing of the bar. S will be calculated as, we can take S upward 1000 to this side, AS will be downward. So S will be area of bar divided by total area into 1000. That's how we will calculate the spacing of bars in the slab. In the example, we get more clear idea how we will calculate the spacing. Maximum bar spacing for main steel of slab. This is the maximum spacing criteria of steel bars. The S max means maximum spacing will be the least of the following, means the maximum criteria will be minimum of these all. So first, 3 times depth of slab, but the local criteria and this author recommended the criteria that is 2H, but the code recommends 3H. The second is 450 millimeter, the local practice and the author recommended 300 millimeter. The third criteria in the code, that is 159,600 divided by Fy minus 2.5 cc. Cc is clear cover. Fourth one, 126,000 divided by Fy. Then we will calculate the 4 values. The minimum from the 4 values will be the S max. Now the second one is the distribution and the temperature steel. Our one steel which will come in the main side, in the longitude, in the shorter side, the other steel that will come on the other direction, that is the distribution steel. or we also name it temperature and shrinkage steel. So what is temperature? Why? Because the code recommends minimum steel must be present in the slab to accommodate shrinkage cracks, temperature cracks. Okay, so minimum steel must be provided. So the distribution that must be provided in the one-way slabs other than the main bars. So shrinkage and temperature reinforcement is required at right angle to the main reinforcement to minimize cracking and to tie the structure together to ensure it's acting as a assumed in the design. Okay, top and bottom reinforcement are both effective in controlling the cracks. Means main bar and distribution bar both are acting in the controlling of the cracks. So what is the criteria for providing distribution and temperature here? If your grade of slab steel is 280 megapascal, then 0.2% into BH means 0.002 into BH here. If your grade of steel 420, then area of steel is will be 0.0018 BH. For other grades you will use this formula, but for other grades it should not be less than 0.0014. Distribution and shrinkage steel. The same criteria will be used for S-max for distribution, but there is a minor change. In the first and second, the third and fourth will be same. The code recommends 5H, but the book author recommend 2H, and at some location 2.5H. And second is 450 millimeter, but the field practice and author recommends 300 millimeter, and at some places 375 millimeter. But the code one is, you can also use the code one. The minimum steel in slab criteria, the distribution steel which we got after this previous one calculation, depending upon the grade, the distribution steel will act as a minimum steel of the slab. Okay, if we want to check if our provided steel is greater than the minimum or not, then we check against the distribution steel. Check for shear. If our applied capacity of the slab, means shear capacity of the slab, is greater than the applied shear, then our check is okay. It means no shear reinforcement is required in the slab. So mostly or more than 90% there is no chance of shear failure in slabs. So that's why we do not provide shear reinforcement, but we will perform the shear check on the slab design. Design procedure for one-way slab. I will do not discuss one by one step. I will directly go to the design example of design of one-way slab, and I will discuss one by one steps in the design procedures for the one-way slab. So before going to example, here is one good point, how you can calculate the approximate idea about how much steel will be provided in the slab. So here is the approximate amount of steel in slab, that is 0.07 kg per millimeter per meter square. This per millimeter is the depth of slab, equal to 70 kg per meter cube. When you will divide millimeter to again to 1000, so then you will get 70 kg per meter cube. 1000 will go up. So if your slab thickness is 150 millimeter, you will multiply 0.07 into 150, you will get 10.5 kg per meter square. Mean in 1 meter square, approximate steel in slab will be 10.5 kg per meter square.